Entertainment.
Well, this machine is funny because this was from SuperiorTattoo.com, Watson's line. This was a $69 Hornet or something like that. Take a look at the frame. It's aluminum. I mean, it's a good concept and it's really light. I like that about it. The problem is that after a couple of changes back here and adjustments to the rear deck and the springs, it's freaking aluminum. You can't have steel screws on aluminum. It stripped it out. So now there's just a hole. I had to hook it up with a fucking a real screw and a bolt on the bottom to secure it. And you know, I don't have any real tools out here, so it's running pretty good though. I built this one. I redid everything on it. Just used the frame. Okay, so as far as now, look how far my needle's hanging out. You can actually hang them out that far if you want. You just can't go that deep. And don't worry about it. You're not going to. If you go that deep, dude, you got problems, bro. And seriously, on real, you need to go kill chickens. Or your wife. Anyway, check it out. So make sure that this is straight. And here's a little trick for you. When you're dealing with other people and blood, you don't want blood splashing up at you or pus or whatever the hell, okay? Take this as a liner, move it to the side, okay? You see this, what I'm talking about? You see how that is? Move this to the side. It doesn't have to be in the front like this. Who said that? This has nothing to do with anything. Move it to the freaking side so that if anything splatters here, it goes to the side and not up at your face. Okay? You can move that to the side when you're lining. Don't trip. Hold on. I gotta go wake up my other daughter. Okay, so just for the video, I've got a 7 loose or 7 round shader, if you want to call it that. Go ahead and when you do something like this, don't be afraid of this. And don't be afraid of bumping your needles. It's very important that you don't. But don't be too afraid. Just get in there and do it. You know what I mean? You're not going to hurt nothing. Just pull that bitch out. It's not going to hurt nothing. Pull it out. Chuck it. Inspect it. As a good artist, you will always have an eye loop. A jeweler's eye loop. And every single time you take it out of the package, I want you to inspect the end of your needles. This is a big common step that everybody skips. Don't skip this part. This is the bread and butter part. Everything about tattooing is important. Everything. Manufacturers, huge. Take your eye loop. Inspect the end of that. I want you to look for barbs and bent needles. Roll it. Look at it really good. I can tell you that at least 70% of these are bad out the gate. My boy, 15, 20 years in, he gets rid of 90% of his needles out of the package. But he also charges $600 an hour. He can do that. I can't. And neither can you. Okay, so you check for the little hooks at the end. Alright? It's going to tear somebody up. Your tattoo's going to look like fucking garbage. Now you have your, this is disposable, but you can, use, I like to use the fatter ones when I'm shading, and I like to use the smaller ones when I'm lining. But you always want to make sure, let me see what this needle bar does out of the package. This one, correct. The eye loop to the needle bar is going to the left. Most of them face to the left, but sometimes they're facing to the right. Now you tell always, don't always rely on this, facing to the left. They always tell you, go to the left. Dude, I have needles in here that go to the right. It depends. So basically, the bar on the bottom, you want the bar of the needle bar on top of your needles, always. This needs to set on the bottom of the tube. Okay, so whatever side that is, just make sure that does. It's a quick tip in putting them in without bending. Okay, you stick it in there, just drop it, twist, drop and twist, drop and twist. Oh shit, that's a blooper. I just bent the needles. Drop, usually. Drop them, twist it. Yep. Basically just drop it and give it a slight twist. If you don't, you can guide it in nice and easy. But don't worry about it. Drop it in, twist it, let gravity take it. It will. They're designed that way. Don't front on it too bad. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So basically, we're good to go in here. In order to inset this properly inside of my vise and up to the eye loop, or the armature bar, you see the reservoir hole right here? This is your cleaning port. Has nothing to do with obtaining the ink at all. The tip does all that. This is so you can clean it. This is so you clean it. That's all that hole's there for. Grab your thumb, grab the needle. Now you have a firm grip on that needle. Okay? It's firm. It's not going nowhere. Grabbing it down here at that hole. Alright? Grab it there. Put some pressure in there. It's not going nowhere. Go ahead and insert. Now you can go as fast as you want. You're not going to bang nothing. If you let it go, it's going to be bobbing around. You know what I'm saying? Use your brain. Don't worry about your adjustment right now. Go ahead and affix that to your arm bar. Get it on there. Okay? Cool. Make sure that's snug. A lot of times, use a paper towel, square it up. Alright. I also wanted to mention that if by any chance this is not working out with the front of your contact spring, use a washer in there and guide it out, or take a washer out if it's got too many. Alright. Add a washer to make this align straight if you can't get it by the springs. The objective is you want it looking like that down the tube. Almost in the middle, but it doesn't have to be. Closer to the back than anything. Don't go to the front. And also, I wanted to show you, before we get into this, take your needle, and this is a cool little trick. Give it a little bend. Just a tiny little bend. Okay? Downwards. The needle is going to be on the bottom of that bar. And give it a little bend. That's why the rubber bands are used. People use rubber bands and they don't know why. It's because of this bend that you put in it manually, not by the manufacturer's specs. Drop it in there. Fix it to your grommet or your paper towel, whatever you're using, your tape. Okay. Alright. Grab me a rubber band. I'll use one of these fat ones for a minute. Who cares? No. Can't do that. Alright. Go ahead and slam your rubber band. Just use one. You don't need 2 and 3. Bullshit. So what this does is the bar that you just bent and the use of this rubber band will pull that bar back to straight. Okay? So without it, it's out. Now you're putting tension on there. And make sure your rubber band looks okay and it's not too twisted up. Never take one rubber band and do them like that one dude's video. Sorry, bro. You're cool and everything. You got some expensive machines that your mommy bought you, but yeah, don't teach these guys shit that's going to fuck them up. Use one rubber band, middle, wherever you like. Just make sure that it's pulling that bar and the tension. You're taking that bend back to flush. That's the objective. Okay? Check your gaps. Haven't really tuned this machine. Hook it up. Stand by. Got a lot. So what we want to do is I want to adjust it, okay? For right now, for learning purposes, don't hang. If you're brand new to this, don't hang your needle and don't ride the tube, okay? So basically what you want, let's say this is a shader, okay? With a shader, you only want to, there's the epidermis, the dermis, and then the subcutaneous fat. So there's 3 portions to your skin. There's a little bit more into that, more technically, but we'll work on those 3. You're talking, what is it? 8, 15 layers of epidermis. That's the protection. That's what makes us waterproof as humans. You only want to go past the epidermis and a little bit into the dermis. The dermis is where the ink is most stable, okay? Back in the day, they used to go really deep, and that's why all of the old sailors, their shit's all blurry. It's because they dug the hell out of those cats. They didn't know much at that time. And they went into the fat, and it dispersed. The ink flowed into the fat and spread, just like blowouts. And for you pros out there, you'll call them holidays. A blowout in the professional world is called a holiday. All right. So adjust it to where, it's about a nickel, maybe a little bit less, maybe a little bit more, depending on where you're working at on the skin. I'm not going to go that deep on top of my hand where there's bones. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to go a little bit more shallow because I don't need to go that deep there, right? But if I was going to do the inside of my arm, I'm going to have to speed up the machine, really stretch it really tight. You know what I'm saying? Color, you need to go deeper. Color has to go deep. Lining, not really if you have a great machine. Shading, a lot of surface. Always start light. Build up. I'm going to show you guys how to penetrate the skin too. This is something that I'm still working on. Fuck, dude. It's a science. Everybody's skin's different. Us Italian boys, we have nice skin to sink ink, but not as nice as some pure white girl with pink nipples. You know what I'm saying? And black dudes, dude, you guys got it hard because if you're a dark-skinned black dude, then you're the melanins in your skin, melatonin, is decreased, the pigment. So when you're tattooing on a black guy or girl, you got to be very cautious. You've got to be quick. You can't just sit in there. They scar a lot easier. And that's not a racial thing at all. And FYI, my girl's half black and half white. My son and my 2 twins that are going to be born are quarter. So when I refer to that, come on, man, I'm from the hood, dude. Check it out. So you got to keep that in mind. Darker pigment skin, and it's not necessarily black either. From African Americans or whatever. It's also like Cubans and Haitians and Mexico. Some of those people are hella dark. And when you start getting into that native skin, like Aslan, Mexican, Native American, shit like that, the skin's like leather. So that machine has to go up more. You gotta accommodate for the skin type. You can't use a blue ink on a black. Excuse me, I had a Red Bull and a pot of coffee at 7 in the morning. Damn, I might fart. But check it out. Yeah, keep that in mind, dude. Skin is huge. You need to learn the inks too. You can't use a blue ink on a black guy. It's not going to work. The pigment's not right. You need to know this stuff, okay? Dropping, a lot of people say, well, hey, I've had a lot of black dudes. Hey, dude, could you do a white tattoo on me, bro? That'll stand out hella good, huh? No, it won't. It doesn't work that way. Actually, that's really bad. You can't accept those kind of colors. You can do red on dark skin. You can do some greens, maybe. You're pushing the hue on that. Let's get to this, though, because I think I have like an hour fucking video here. So, adjust it to where it's sticking out about a nickel there for shading, okay? Now, rule of thumb, dude, and I'm sorry, you know what? Where'd my brain go? You don't adjust it right here. You adjust it with the arm bar down, okay? I don't know what I'm thinking. I'm tired. When the arm bar is depressed down, that's where you want that gauge, that depth. That's when you set your depth, okay? Always with the arm bar down. Okay? Go ahead and set it. Boom. Let's get some reference here. Okay. So I grab the nickel. Let's go on my black shirt. Let's gauge that. Oh, fuck it. God, this camera's backwards, man. Okay? Gauge it at a nickel. Also, in here, without it depressed, make sure a nickel goes in there. This one's not, because I set it up as a liner / shader. So, right up under here, make sure that nickel fits in there and moves freely. It just barely touches. Barely. That's your nickel gap right in there. That's your throw. And this is your depth right in here. Okay? Now, with power, when you're doing this, especially shaders and mags, when you hit your machine, you want to look for that 8. You want to look for that 8 that I showed you. And also, down here, when you hit this with your thumb, you're going to watch that needle. Okay? A good rule of thumb here is, if you have this gauge up here set to about a nickel and a dime when you're lining and shading, then this should be okay. Have it inside the tube just a little bit. All the videos that I see, they're saying, oh, just barely touch and feel it. Well, no. You know what? Drop it inside there. Just a micromillimeter up inside, okay? It's a good rule of thumb. When it comes out, you hit this. When it's running, you hit your arm bar with your thumb, as you would pressure on the skin. And make sure that needle doesn't go up in there. You don't want that. If it's going up in there, turn that up until it doesn't. You want it to have a little bit of give, but not suck it back up, okay? So, that's good right there. That's another way to know if you're running fast enough. Too slow, the needle's going back up in the tube, you know what I'm saying? When you put pressure, the tension there is pushing the needle back up. You don't want that. You want a little bit of give, but you still want to have that proper depth when you're working, okay? So I'm putting a pressure. I can see a little bit of give, but when it syncs up, it's still leaving me that excess to go ahead and do my work, if you know what I'm saying, okay? So I'm not going to go into clip cords and power supplies right now, but either you have a cheap ass one or you have a good one. Power supply is very important. Everything with tattooing is very important, from the needles to the screws to power supply. With request, I'll give you a list on my page. Good power supplies, good sources to get those. I got it tore up. But anyways, same with needle tip or the tips. Everything matters in this business. Everything, and a lot of them don't want you to know because why? They don't want you making money on the streets, man. It's like the government with dope. I think the government wants you out there selling fucking weed when they can, medicinally. Pharmaceutical companies are top of the chain. You know what I'm saying? Now, make sure everything's straight. Look down the barrel of your 9 and tell me, is that good enough to take a shot? You look it down, see how it's crooked? You don't want that. But at the same time, you don't want your armature bar to be too offset from the coils. Or the important part is you want the center of that to look like that. You want it to be centered. You want the end of your armature bar to be flush with the back of that tube. the end of your armature bar flush with the back of the tube. You want the needle to come out a little bit. So without a needle set up right now, voltage is going to change. But I want you to do it without the needle set up. Make sure, shader, yes. Okay, what I want you to do is this. Power supply. Turn it all the way down. This was my business right here. This is my little apron I use when I'm tattooing, or used to when I own this business. Hell Ink Tattoo kind of stole that little devil, but made everything else. It was pretty sick. It was called Hella Ink Tattoo, and I might roll with that for my next shop. So don't try to steal it. It's already patented. Hella Ink, dog. That's a Cali thing, by the way. Just like 187. Have a good day at school. Be good. Test well. Be safe. That's my daughter going out for school at 6:30 in the morning. So check it out. What was I saying? Man, I get sidetracked a lot. I'm tired. Oh, so right now I'm awkward. Okay, check this out. This is good. Look what my machine's doing. Look at my machine. That's what I was talking about. Ah, damn it. Of course not. Nope. There it goes. You see that? Hold on. Hold on. Come on, bitch. You just wanted to do it a minute ago. You see what I was talking about? How it kind of went down magnetically and stuck there? I mean, something's wrong here. With mine, it's the contact. I can tell you that right now. So, okay. If you have a spark up here on top, not good. That means that you're not flush. Your angles are wrong up here. Or you have a Chinese machine. No spark. That's a good thing. It means it's running smooth. Now what we need to dick around with, turn your power machine all the way down. Or your power supply. I just fucked up my liner setting. Great. All the way off. Now turn it up, little by little. If you go past 4 volts, give it a jolt. Get it started. Okay? Obviously, feel it with this part of your thumb. Way too slow. You're hanging up in the skin. That sounds like shit. That sounds like shit. That sounds good. But, sounds good. It's not hitting hard enough. I'm at 6.9 with this. A little harder. You could do some soft shading with that. So I'm going to go all the way back down again. Go up and down. There it is. Yep, that's it. Okay, so basically what we have here is the sound and the feel of the machine. You feel that because you're feeling the hit of the needle from the armature bar. Voltage, like I said, it controls power of the needles entering the skin, the penetration, not speed. Speed is always done with these gaps. For instance, let me show you what I'm talking about with speed. Okay? And do it while it's running. Don't be afraid. Lock that that down real quick. And as far as alignment, you have to be straight on all of it. I can't stress that enough. Absolutely. Everything has to be straight. Armature bar over the coils, contact screw with contact spring, and also the hole in the vise where your needle's going to go, so it doesn't cause tension and hang up in your tube. So now I'm going to show you something here. Okay? Springs all the way out. Springs all the way out. It's not touching. Power supply is on. Watch the front of that oscillation. Now I'm not going to adjust my power supply. I'm at the same voltage, but watch the speed of the machine. The reason it's sounding like that is because I filed down the front of that, so it's going to be on and off. You see the angle on that? See the angle? It's going to be on and off. That's going to be a good contact, but this is the best contact. But I need to be angled, so I got to see where I want it. But I'm showing you for the purpose of speed of the machine. And then when you have a short, it does that. It locks down. See the armature bar? There's what I wanted. If it does that, you have a short somewhere. Okay? Your contacts are fucked up. So, look how fast it's going and look at my gap. Watch the gap. Turn it again. A little bit. That's too much. Look how fast that is. You'll burn that spark right through. Way too fast. So, adjust your depth. By the way, it's called depth and throw. Throw the machine. Lock it down. I like this, but right there's the perfect angle. Just use your ears and your eyes and your hands and your heart. You'll get there. Know what I'm saying? Now look how important this is, okay? It's hard to do it backwards. But watch the sound of this just on the angle, okay? Look at that spark. Spark, no spark. You see what I'm saying? The end of that. That's one way to tune. When you don't see the spark anymore, you're doing something good. Right about there. Can have a little spark because of the angle. Fucked up my angle on it again. That's good. Okay? So that's what I was talking about with power supply has nothing to do with the speed of your machine. The only thing that has to do with the speed of your machine and the speed that those needles are going is your contact and your spring setup. The stiffer the front spring, lining. The softer the spring, shading, obviously. The shorter the spring, the harder the hit. The longer the spring, diving board. Softer the hit. Wax on, wax off, young grasshopper. Karate kick you to the face, boot to the head. Yes. So, that's good. You adjust that. Let's do it one more time for you. It's going to be a long ass video. I hope they let me. Turn it all the way down. That's too high. You'll see when it kicks in. That is too low, and it's ratchety. It's clacky. There it is. There's the hump. There it is. Oh, but then we have a problem. That's good. Let's see what's going on here. First of all, my arm bar is crooked. Second of all, my spring's a little crooked. See what I'm saying? Every freaking part of this counts, guys. You think the Chinese fucking workers know what they're doing with this when they send you one? With anything? No. It's not their fault. It's our government's fault. It's our government raping every other country to do fucking mass productions. Anything that's mass produced is garbage. Look at the mass production of the vehicles now. You go back to the 50s and 60s and 70s. Every decade after each decade of the vehicle has declined. More plastic parts, more cheaper shit, you know what I'm saying? But the price still goes up, still inflates, but the quality's shit. I'd take a 47 Fleetline Mercury over a fucking Corvette nowadays any day. It just pisses me off. There we go. Now I want to talk about figure eight real quick. Let me pause, get this video clipped down a little bit. That's 13 minutes already. Fuck, that's a long video. I don't know if I'm going to... Okay, so I want you to pay attention to the front of this. We're going to do the figure eight, okay? The larger the 8 is on the front of your armature bar, that's going to be shading. The further out is coloring, closer in, shading, closer even yet, where that imaginary line is on that 8, lining. Watch what I'm talking about. Let me do something real quick. Let me see if this works. We put a white dot. When you do watercolors, use, I don't know what this stringy shit is in this whiteout. It's brand new. The fuck. Stand by. I'm going to go ahead and put a white dot and see if that helps. For training purposes. Wait until you guys see my invention, man. Wait until you see the machine I'm going to create. I'm going to create beautiful custom machines that are awesome, fucking outstanding. I guarantee you they're going to hit the market. I guarantee you they're going to be popular. Wait until you see what I'm coming up with. I wish I could tell you guys, man, but it's going to make me millions. Unless you want to be part of it. If you want to be part of it, cageofbay@gmail.com. In Too Deep Tats with a Z. Email me with what you got right up here, and I might think about some stuff. You know what I mean? Be realistic. Be true to the game. I'm the realest dude you'll ever fucking meet. I don't lie, I don't cheat, and I don't steal. Period. I don't give a shit. And I don't condone it, and I don't like it. That's why I don't have many friends. People want to be my friends, but I don't need it. Let's see if this works. See if I'm a smart guy. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Figure eight, guys. That's awesome. Someone's going to steal my idea, damn it. Hey, you guys know that Kage did it first. Check it out. Now watch this. When I increase and decrease. Watch that 8. Okay? The closer it is together is when you go faster. When you hit the right spot on the shader, you'll see an 8. Right about there. See that 8? Hopefully the fidelity on this video when I upload it is okay. Now watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to adjust my contact point, and you're going to see that 8 even grow more. Okay? Check this out, guys. It's very important. So, look at that 8, okay? That depth right there, some soft shading, faster volts, some color. The closer you get with this contact, hold on. I've got this weird screw on here. Okay, let's start it out. The farther you are, the bigger that 8's going to be. Right there. You seen that 8? Let me draw a dot in the middle. Gotta just keep coming up with funky ass shit like every single day. May I kick a little something for the cheese? Anyways, let's do a little dot. Let's make a real fucking 8, huh? See if that works. Better. Oh yeah. Check it out. Watch my 8. Look at that 8. Perfect 8. The closer that the top ball and the bottom ball, there's a middle line, 8, 8, you know, the balls to the 8s. The closer those are together, lining. The further apart, shading and coloring. 8. Bigger 8, it's good. This is even better. Right about there. Let's see what the gap is. Wow, almost a nickel. About a nickel. Let's tighten it down. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? Tighten this down. I've got a contact somewhere going on. I threw this together really quick. There's got to be something touching. You'll have problems like that, and it's okay, dude. Have problems like that. It's better to have problems. Start building your own needles. Get a little jig and start soldering your own needles. For real. I'm not playing with you. I think I told you I met this guy, and he told me, a good friend of mine, he said, you know what, you're not a tattoo artist until you build your own needles. He's right. Secrets in that. Secrets in everything. There's even secrets when you shit. I don't know what you ate, but there's a secret in there. Good enough for now. I gotta cut this video short. The 8 ball. Bigger the 8, shading color. Closer together, lining. There's your machine, guys, and tuning. I hope that I helped. I hope that if you watch this, that you pay some respects. Just a little bit, not too much. I'm not asking for much, but I feed off of your feedback, if that makes sense. I stay up late and I work hard. I really want to do this, and I'm doing it. So I'm doing it for you guys. It's Kage. I'm gonna start tattooing with my Joey D's. This is a machine. That's machine. Compared to like this, which one would you want? These are badass machines, brother. Badass machines. I can't wait. I haven't even tattooed with them yet. I just got them and I'm freaking excited. I haven't even tattooed with them yet. We're gonna go through a lot of things. Look at this machine though. Tell me that's not sweet. Chinese my ass. That's 100% American right there. Hand carved. Hand carved. Look at that. Oh, did you guys notice I cleaned my nails? Till next time. Yeah, this is going to be a long one, guys, so I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something. Next, we'll get into needle depth. And I should have set it up with a needle in there. Let me try. I'll try it. Give me 1 sec. Some good information here, so hopefully you take it with a grain of salt. Rewatch it, rewind it. This is a long video. There'll be many more to come. If you have any requests, shout outs, let me know what's up. Thank you guys. Peace. Email me, cageofbay@gmail.com. That's with the K, Kage of Bay, one word, Gmail. Or you can hit me up on this site, and that's N in too deep tats with a Z. N 2 letter or number TATZ at Gmail. Let me know what's up. You guys are gonna be hitting me up for these machines. Watch. Entertainment.